नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवये भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Dear devotees, you are welcome for continuity of Bhakti Vaibhav study of third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam at ISKCON, Sri Radha Ras Bihari Temple, ISKCON, Juhu. We are starting to meet today chapter 23rd. So in this chapter, Chakravarti Pad writes, the request of Devuti and enjoyment of Kardam after creating heavenly wealth desired by her. So, the first 8 verses, 1 to 8. Kardama Muni pleased with Devuti's service. So this is the first section, 8 verses. Kardama Muni pleased with Devuti's service. It means first there should be service by Devuti, and then in response to that, Kardama Muni is pleased. And when Kardama Muni is pleased, then he will fulfill the desire of Devuti, which he has promised at the time of marriage with the parents of Devuti, that after begetting children, he will renounce. So, Petrabhyam prasthite sadhvi patim ingita kovida nityam paricharyat pritaya bhavaniva bhavam prabhom. Bhavani bhavam means Parvati served Lord Shiva. This is an example. And first word is Pratibhyam. Pitribhyam means parents. Prasute means when they left. After the parents left, Sadhvi is a character of Devhuti. Sadhvi, which means she is faithful and chaste. There are 2 meanings of Sadhvi given by Srila Prabhupada, chaste and faithful. Patim ingit kovida means understand somebody's mood. Prabhupada writes Patim kovida, understanding the desire. It's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire was understood by Rupa Goswami. That means the ingit kovida. Understanding the desire or the mood. The same thing is for this disciple to the spiritual master. See, if he can understand what is his desire, what is his mood, and how to really please him. So this is like say son for father, wife for husband, this disciple is spiritual master. This is the same methodology. Bhishma Pitama understood the mood of Santinu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was understood by Rupa Goswami. So similarly, the Devhuti was working in accordance with the desires and needs of Kardama Muni. This is also a very important lesson in communication. NIC is a Mahamantra for communication. Needs, interests, and concerns of opposite party, not yours. So, Devhuti knew the needs of the Kardama Muni, interest and concern of Kardama Muni. So this is actually, I'm saying, when we preach, wherever we go, with whom we have come in contact, we should be very much aware of the needs of the people, their concerns, their interests. And then we can convince them because we care for them. Therefore, they will oblige. They will be obliged. So here, Nityam Paricharyat. Paricharyat means service. Paricharya means service. Usually Paricharya is the word used in a nectar of devotion for service to the Supreme Lord. Deity worship is Archana and Paricharya. Can you know the two words in 64 Angas of the Bhakti? There is a Archana and Paricharya. Paricharya means fanning the Lord, like a king. Paricharya. And the example is like the Parvati please the Shiva. Why this example is given? Shiva has no home. He lives under the tree. He has nothing, no asset. But Parvati is a daughter of a king, M1, Himali. She's princess, but she is happy in serving Lord Shiva. Why? Because Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnava Nam Sanjata Sambhu. So Devuti is also a princess, the daughter of the Swayambhu Manu. And Kardama is a simply saintly person living in a Tej roof. But he is also a great yogi and a Vaishnava. So Srila Prabhupada's purport is comparison between the Shiva and Kardama Muni as the great Vaishnava and devotees, though they are materially poor, and both wives were actually great princesses, but they pleased their husband because the husband was Vaishnava. So this is the purport. Okay, now see, I think if we read or we don't read, it makes no difference. Translation. Maitreya continued after departure of their parents. First two words, Pitri, Sthana. Chaste woman Devhuti, chaste is word for Sadhvi, who could understand the desire of her husband, Ingit Kovida, served him constantly with great love, Paricharya, as Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, served her husband. With affection. Chakravarti Part said with affection. And here Prabhupada writes, Bhavani is a wife of Lord Shiva. Parvati, daughter of the king Hemwan, same thing what I told you. Why she served? Because Swayambhu, because Shiva is just a poor, like a poor woman. Similarly, Devuti, same thing. Why? Here, her rare example is ideal of a Vedic civilization. Every woman is expected to be as good and chaste as Devuti or Bhavani. Today in the Hindu society, unmarried girls are still taught to worship Lord Shiva with the idea they may get husband like him. Lord Shiva is the ideal husband, not in the sense of riches or sense gratification, but because he is the greatest of all devotees, Vaishnava Nam Yatha Sambhu. So he constantly meditated upon the Lord Ram. This is his meditation. Prabhupada has written Lord Ram and then he said Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He chants like that. And he is also the inaugurator of one Vaishnava Sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya. But in 5th canto of Bhagavatam, you will learn that Lord Shiva's presiding deity is Sankarsana. 11th verse is a middle verse in the Jambu Deep where Lord Shiva worshipped Sankarsana. And because he worships Sankarsana, whose form is like a shesh, so he keep always the snake around his neck as a symbol of Sankarsana. So why Shiva keeps the snake in the neck? Because he is his worshipable deity is Sankarsana. And Sankarsana and Shiva both are the presiding deity for false ego in our subtle body. Subtle body has 4 parts: mind, intelligence, false ego, and polluted consciousness. Chitta, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. And each one has a presiding deity. Presiding deity for Chitta is Vasudev. Vasudev. And for the false Ahankar is Sankrishna. And Pradyumna and Anuruddha is for the intelligence and mind. This is in 4th canto of Bhagavatam. And also with that, for mind, another presiding deity Prabhupada sometimes used to say, Chandra, Manasa, Chandra, Jatosi, moon. And intelligence is also Shiva. Oh, sorry, for false ego is Shiva also. So, now Srila Prabhupada writes, why he is Vaishnava? Because he is constantly chanting upon the Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he is also inaugurator of one Vaishnava Sampradaya. So husband should be a Vaishnava. Now this is what we are reading is. Lord Shiva, Bhavani or Parvati, the daughter of King of Himan, selected Lord Shiva. We have done this? Okay. Last part. So the girl should not select a husband which is very rich and opulent in material sense. Rather, if a girl is fortunate enough to get a husband as good as Lord Shiva in devotional service, then her life becomes perfect. The wife is dependent on the husband, and if the husband is a Vaishnava, then naturally she shares the devotional service of the husband because she renders him service. This reciprocation of service and love between husband and wife is the ideal of household life. So, this is the purport to the first verse, right? Verse number 2. This is verse number Kardama Muni. Vishrambhenatma sauchena Gauravena damena cha Sushrusyaha sohrdena Vacha madhurya chabho. O Vidur, Devuti served her husband with intimacy, Vishrambena, with great respect, Gauravena, with control of sense, Damena, with love, Sohrdaya, and with sweet words, Madhvacha Madhurya, and served his Sushrusya. Sushrusya, there's a word with the purity of mind and body. It doesn't look, it is here in the translation. See, now Chakravarti Pad writes, O Vidra, she served with trust, purity, respect, sense control, menial duties, friendship, and sweet words. Friendship is Srila Prabhupada's purport. The 2 words are very significant. Devuti served her husband in 2 ways, Vishrambena and Gauravena. Vishrambena means with intimacy. And Prabhupada says it is same for the husband and same for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These 2 sentiments should be for all the superiors in general. Vishrambena means intimately, and Gauravena means the respect. There should be intimacy as well as respect. Because if there is too much intimacy without respect, then there will be familiarity. Familiarity brings contempt. That's what the reason is. So, with great reverence, the husband is a very intimate friend. Therefore, the wife must render service just like an intimate friend. And at the same time, she must As constituted by bodily frame, a man always wants to be superior to his wife, and a woman, as a bodily constituted, is naturally inferior to her husband. Thus, the natural instinct is that the husband wants to pose himself as superior to the wife, and this must be observed. Even if there is some wrong on the part of the husband, the wife must tolerate it, and thus there will be no misunderstanding between husband and wife. Vishrambhena means with intimacy, but it must not be familiarity that breed contempt. According to the Vedic civilization, wife cannot call her husband by name. In the present civilization, the wife calls her husband by name, but in Hindu civilization, she does not. Thus, the inferiority and superiority complex are recognized. Damenacha, wife has to learn to control herself even if there is a misunderstanding. Suhridena vacha madhurya means always desiring good for the husband and speaking to him with sweet words. Why? A person becomes agitated by so many material contact in the outside world. Therefore, in his home life, he must be treated by his wife with sweet words. This is Prabhupada's understanding of the psychology of the married life and psychology of male and female, superiority of the male. In Hindu, still no wife called the husband by name. In tradition, but now the all young boys, they say, aap is always they say aap in our general tradition with a high respect and reverence to the husband. But nowadays it is just like intimacy but without respect and reverence. Therefore, always there are misunderstandings and differences. In olden days, Prabhupada wrote this, and we have seen this. Even married husband and wife, in a daytime, they cannot see the face of one to other. Wife is always having face covered in the home. In a household, in front of mother, father, she always used to cover the house. Prabhupada, they cover the face in the house. Prabhupada wrote this in some of the purports. And because of that, there was always peace in the family. Because even if she is angry, nobody can see her face. So there's no fight. Yeah, we have seen this culture. We lived in this culture. First time I saw I never came to India. My maternal brother was getting married in India. So my brother was here elder, so he brought the photo, and the marriage was the open face of a girl. I was surprised to see. It means I was already grown up, graduate, young man. But I never thought that the marriage will take with the open face. Always the covered face of a girl. We have that culture. So this was not a Vedic culture. Things have changed a lot. Prabhupada's writing somehow, calling by name is not a Vedic culture. Even Guru's name is never told by proper disciples. They never tell the name of a Guru who disciples. Similar, the same principle is there. Similar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, they never say the name of the spiritual master. They said, Stotasya Shri Srimad something Gurudev. That's like that. Name, same thing is, but now we are also in our culture, we just say the name of the Guru. In the old system, the disciple never say the name of the Guru. He simply have intimacy in service, but have a great reverence also. And respect. Because the same principle is there everywhere. Okay, next verse number 3. Visarjaya kamam dambham cha dvesham lobham agham maddam aparma aparmatta udyata nityam tejyansam ata ushyat. Tejasya ansam means the Kardam was very powerful. He was very powerful. Teja ansam. And therefore she realized and she gave up visarja, she gave up kamam, lust, dambham, arrogance, dvesham, greed, agham, sinful mentality, madam, arrogance, aparmata, insanity. She acted as a sin. With the nityam, every day. And last word means atushyat. Tushyat. The word is tushyat. Tushyat means to please. Tushyanti charamanti jat. Tushyat. Now see the translation. Working sanely, which means amada, amadena. And diligently, she's pleased her very powerful husband. Powerful husband is Tejasvina, Tejasyans. Giving up all lust, pride, envy, greed, sinful activities, and vanity. Devoid of lust, cheating, hatred, greed, sin, and pride, always working with attention and diligence, she pleased her powerful husband. Prabhupada's purport. Here are some of the qualities of the great husband's great wife. Kardama Muni is great by spiritual qualification. Such a husband is called Tejasyansam. Most powerful. Although a wife may be equal to her husband in advancement in spiritual consciousness, she should not be vainly proud. Sometimes it happens that the wife comes from a very rich family, as did Devuti, the daughter of the emperor Swayambhu Manu. She could have been very proud of her parentage, but that is forbidden. When the wife should not be proud of her parental position. She must always be submissive to the husband and must give up all vanity. As soon as the wife becomes proud of her parentage, her pride creates great misunderstanding between husband and wife, and their nuptial life is ruined. This is the cause of many marriages broken. False concept of rich parentage. And yesterday somebody said how much you get from the girl, so girl thinks that he's dependent on me, on my money. And therefore the relation disturbed completely. The psychology is just upside down and always there's a quarrel. Dehuti was very careful about that, and therefore it is said that she gave up pride completely. Dehuti was not unfaithful. The most sinful activity for the life is to accept another husband or another lover. Chanakya Pandit says there are some 4 people in the home and they are enemies. And who are the enemies in home? The father who has a dates. Mother who has a grown-up children and married to somebody else. Wife, fool number 1. These are the 4 enemies in the home. Remember these 4 enemies in the home, okay? Is it clear? 4 enemies in the home? What? Beautiful wife, the wife is beautiful, it means somebody else will look at her. That means she will be enticed by somebody. So it says, she is considered to be, if the wife does not live well with her husband but deal with roughly even, and she is an enemy. Here is a different. In family life, father, mother, wife and children are assets. But if the wife or mother accept another husband in the presence of her husband or his son, then according to Vedic civilization, she is considered an enemy. A chaste and faithful woman must not practice adultery. That is the greatest sinful act. What is the safety wall of a woman? First canto of Bhagavatam. Chastity, modesty, chastity. Bhishma Pitama said this greatest wall is the lajja, which means modesty, I think, in English. Shyness. Lajja is the greatest power of a woman. If she give up that, then if she has that, she can control the greatest person. If she lose that, then she will be completely destroyed in her life. Brahman Santoshi, Raja Lobhi, Vaish Nirlaj Nari Laja. These are the 4 codes of the Niti Shastra. Brahman Santoshi, whatever he gets, he should be satisfied. But Raja, he should always have more in his treasury to keep citizen happy. So he needs more. Vaish Nirlaj, a businessman, he should be straightforward. I have to make money. You cannot be, horse cannot make friendship with the grass and water. So he has to be a Nari Lajja. So these are the codes of conduct in the society. Savai Devarishi Varyastam Manavim Samano Varatam Devadagaryasaha Patayo Ashasanam Mahasisha Kalena Bhuyasa Kshama Karshitam Vartacharyaya Prema Gadagadaya Vacha Piditaha Kripaya Bravi Deva Rishi. Who is the other? Narad is a Deva Rishi. The standard name for Narad is Deva Rishi, but Kardama is here also called Deva Rishi. But Deva Rishi Varya, not ordinary Deva Rishi, Deva Rishi Varya, best among the Deva Rishis. It means there are many Deva Rishis, not only one. There are Raj Rishis, there are Deva Rishi, Raj Rishi, Brahma Rishi. So there are different categories of the Rishis. We have different types of the mangoes, right? And in Russia, there are different type of potatoes. Like mangoes, they have a different type of potato. For boiling, for frying, for baking, they have a complete different variety. So, so rishis are all different. Dev Rishi, Brahma Rishi, Raj Rishi, and what other Rishi? Sapta Rishi, Maharishi. Manvi means daughter of Manu. And Samanu Vartanam. Samya means complete. Anuvartana means following. She followed all the direction of her husband, the great husband. Devad Garyasaha Patayor, because her husband was Devad Garyasaha. Devad Garyasa means more powerful. Garya. The word Guru is coming from Garya, and Guru is same thing. It means very heavy, up. And Devad means even from the destiny. Patayo. Asasanam Mahaashisha. So now he wanted to give her blessing. So see here, daughter of Manu, Manvi, who was fully devoted to her husband, looked upon him as greater even than Providence. Providence is Deva. Garyasha means greater. So Devuti looked at her husband greater than Providence. Thus she expected great blessing from him, Asishama. Having served him for a long time, she grew weak and emaciated due to her religious observance. Means she was following some vrta. Seeing her condition, Kardam, the foremost of celestial sages, was overcome with compassion and spoke to her in voice choked with great love. So, Pidita Kripaya, these all words are there. You relish those purport. The wife is expected to be of the same category as husband. She must be prepared to follow the principle of the husband, and then there will be a happy life. If the husband is a devotee and wife is a materialistic, there cannot be any peace in the home. And husband is a materialistic and wife is a devotee, again there is the same problem. There will be no good result. And result is children. Yes? Yeah, result is children. So similarly for Bhagavatam it says the speaker, if a speaker is Krishna-arthi and listener is Dhanarthi, there is Rasabhas. The speaker always says love Krishna, and the listener think by blessing of hearing Bhagavatam I will get wealth, I will get good wife, I will get. So all the time the speaker will say you give up everything of this world and become a devotee. And the listener will think, no, this Bhagavatam will give me all benefits. So this is called Krishna-arthi Vakta, Dhana-arthi Shrota. Now there is the opposite combination. The speaker is Dhana-arthi and listener is Krishna-arthi. Some brahmachari comes to the class and the speaker of Bhagavatam says, tomorrow is the marriage of Rukmani, everybody has to bring the beautiful sari. And then there should be a golden ornaments. Then the devotee who is sitting there, brahmachari, he said, why should I bring sari? What I have to do with that? So there will be no result. And the result is love of God. To relish Bhagavatam. The speaker is Krishna-arthi and listener is Krishna-arthi, then the result is Krishna Prem. So wife is a devotee, husband is a devotee, then there is a good result, devotee children. The result is that. Now Dhanarthi speaker, Dhanarthi and this is what is going on all over the world, because people organize these kathas simply to be, passionate, to show up their things and get more benefit. And a speaker also wants some monetary benefit. So the both are actually in a mode of passion. It says the katha which is in 7 days is in mode of passion. The katha which is in which you escape cantos and chapters, that is called katha in mode of ignorance. And the katha which you do at least for 1 month is called in mode of goodness. But regularly you chant the Bhagavatam, that is called beyond 3 modes of material nature. So the Bhagavatam which is going on in ISKCON is beyond 3 modes of material nature, because ISKCON is turned regular without any motive. That is called Nirguna Katha. Katha beyond 3 modes of material nature. Sometimes there is Pakshak Katha, means 15 days, 1 month. That is the mode of goodness. But the 7-day Katha in a rush and to make show is generally Rajsik. One Rajsik word Raja came from Rajogun. So it's Rajsik. And most of these speakers, they never speak a word on 2nd canto. They never touch 5th canto, 2nd part. They never speak of the 9th canto. So this is a mode of ignorance completely. They escape majority of the katha. So this is of same category is important. It's called snigdha, sajatya snigdha. Huh? Snigdha, sajatya, sangha. Out of the five powerful items of devotional service. What are the 5 items? Sadhu Sangha, Nama, Bhagavatam, deity and Dham. So what is the Sadhu Sangha? The word there is Snigdha Sajatya Sangha. Sajatya means like-minded. Like-minded means those all who are Krishna Bhakta, they should be together. See, for example, there are Lakshmi Narayana Bhakta, they should be together. This is called Sajatya. It means their worshipful deity is same. Higher level Sajatya means those who have a mood of Vatsalya Bhav. They should be together, only discuss the Vatsalya part of the pastime. Those who are in Madhurya, they discuss Madhurya. Those who are in Sakha, they discuss Sakha. There is also Sajatya at a higher level. The devotee of the same, character, they should be together. And Snigdha, what Snigdha means? Sanskrit word Snigdha means ghee or oil, which is malleable, put anywhere it will take that shape. So the devotee should be actually very humble and tolerant. That is the meaning of Snigdha, humble and tolerant. Soft, non-envious, just smooth flow. Ghee, oil flow is very smooth. And they can take shape wherever you put in that, they take that shape. So devotee should be that type of very snigdha and sajatya. So she must be prepared to follow principle of husband. Okay. The wife must see the tendency of the husband and must be prepared to follow him. From Mahabharata, we learn that when Gandhari understood, Prabhupada give the example, Dhritarashtra is blind, so she just put a band on the eyes and she acted as a blind throughout her life. Because otherwise she will be proud of her eyes. And in this way, there will be difference between the husband and wife. That's what Srila Prabhupada writes. So then, the word sama anuvarta indicate that it is the duty of the wife to adapt the special circumstances in which the husband is situated. Adapt to the circumstance. If husband is doing, say, varta, then she should adapt according to that. If he's doing some yajna, then she should adapt according to that. If he's doing meditation, like he's doing arti, then she should arrange those paraphernalia. You understand? Adapt to the circumstances of the husband. Anuvarta. Anuvarta means follow. Okay, Kardama, good result. Ashur. Sorry? Of course, if the husband is as great as Kardama Muni, and then a very good result occurs from the following him. But even if the husband is not a great devotee like Kardama Muni, it is the wife's duty to adapt herself according to his mentality. That makes married life very happy. It is also mentioned here in that by following the strict vows of the chaste woman, Princess Devahuti become very skinny, and therefore her husband became compassionate. He knew that she was the daughter of great king, and yet was serving him just like an ordinary woman. She was reduced in health by such activities, and he became compassionate and addressed her as follows. Kardama was a stronger than destiny, Daiva Garyasa. He could change destiny. There's another meaning. She had given up all desire, but after some time, by the impetus of Lord, Devat. It means now, Devat means destiny now has changed the situation. And she desired, some objects of pleasure. Asisha Maha. Pain on seeing her with him, or thin body, with compassion he spoke her. What he spoke? Kardama Vacha Tushtoham Adyatava Manavi Manadaya Sushrushya Paramaya Paraya Cha Bhaktya Yo Dehi Namayam Ativa Suhirta Sadeho Navekshitaha Samuchitta Kshapitum Madarate Tushto Aham Adya. Today I am satisfied. I am pleased. I am now Tushtaha. Tava Manavi Manadayaha. You, the daughter of Manu, by your all. Manadaha means who are respectful. Oh, respectful daughter of Manu, today I am satisfied with you. With you, why? Sushruya, Paramaya, you have you have rendered the greatest service. Parayacha Bhaktya, and you have done this out of devotion. Paraya only like his own body, but you have forgotten your body to serve me. So, this is mad arthe for me. You have given up to take care of your body. So I am greatly satisfied. Kardama Muni said, "O respectful daughter of Swayambhu Manu." First line. Today I am very much pleased with you for your great devotion, most excellent loving service. Since the body is so dear to embodied beings, I am astonished that you have neglected your own body to use it on my behalf. So Srila Prabhupada's purport is everybody is attached to his own body. So here Chakravarti Pad has written something, I think, different. Let us see what is there, what he is writing. What I am doing. Kardama Muni said, "Daughter of Manu, I am pleased today with you. You give respect to me for your excellent service and utmost devotion. You have neglected your body, which is dear to those possessing bodies, preferring to make it thin in order to serve me." It's okay. Nothing new. Purport. It is indicated here that one's body is very dear, yet Devhuti was so faithful to her husband that not only did she serve him with great devotion, service, and respect, three things, with devotion, with service, and with respect, but she did not even care for her own health. That is called selfless service. So what is the definition of selfless service? Serve somebody with devotion, with respect, with intimacy, and never ever think of your own comfort, is selfless service. Who render that service generally? Mother to the child, selfless service. It appears that Devhuti had no sense pleasure, even with the husband. Otherwise, she would not have been deteriorated in health. Acting to facilitate Kardama Muni's engagement in spiritual elevation, she continually assisted him, not caring for bodily comfort. It is a duty of a faithful, chaste wife to help her husband in every respect, especially when the husband is engaged in Krishna consciousness. In this case, husband also amply rewarded the wife. This is not to be expected by the woman who is the wife of an ordinary person. Kardam can do something, but ordinary person may not be able to do that. Kardam has rewarded her for her service. You do not care for your body, na avekshitaha. You do not care whether it remains or is destroyed. It is suitable, samuchita, for you to make your body thin in service to me, since you are highly devoted to your husband's woes. Next verse. Verse number 7. Yame swadharma niratasya tapaha samadhi vidyatma yoga vijita bhagavat prasada taneva mada anusevya na vyaruddhan Drishtim prapasyaha vitarami abhayan ashoka. So this is the benediction, or Ashish Kardam is awarding to Devhuti. Ye me swadharma, whatever I have accumulated by following my dharma, niratasya, tapaha, by austerity, by samadhi, vidya, yoga, vijvit bhagavat prasada, whatever I got the blessing of Lord. Today I am giving you all those. I am awarding those to you. Though you have not done that, I am giving you that. And you can see now, you are saying, I am giving you divine vision to see the all what I have achieved to you. Is it possible to give like that somebody? Srila Prabhupada will give the example of Devrishi Narad. He was a boy, but he got also the Ashish from the Bhakti Vedanta by his service. Somebody can give like that, yes. Vishwamitra said, when Ramachandra killed Tadaka, he said, now santushtu asmi. What I have, all the celestial weapon today, I am giving you all those. So he was calling each weapon and was giving to Ramachandra. So this is what actually a great saintly person, whatever he has realized, he can hand over to his dear disciple if he is eligible for that. So here is the Kardama Muni continued, I have achieved the blessing of the Lord Prasada in the discharging of my own religion, Swadharmena, of austerity, meditation and Krishna consciousness, Yogena. Although you have yoga means Krishna consciousness, yoga means Bhakti Yoga. Our other yogas are a stepping stone to that highest climax. Although you have not yet experienced these achievements, because you have never done that, which are free from fear and lamentation, last two words, Abhaya Shoka. I shall offer them all to you because you are engaged in my service. Now just look at them. I am giving you the transcendental vision to see how nice they are. So this is the blessing of a advanced devotee on a person who is serving him. Hare Krishna. And what actually it is, in our Krishna consciousness, by our sadhana bhakti, we can reach to the asakti at the most. But the bhava bhakti is only awakened when some senior devotee blesses us with samvit and haladini shakti from within his heart, which he has earned by his devotional service and got a sincere seeker's heart, then bhava bhakti only awaken. This is what actually practically for us, this is what it means. Okay, next. Purport. Devhuti engaged only in the service of Kardama Muni. She was not supposed to be so advanced in austerity, ecstasy, meditation or Krishna consciousness. But imprecipitably, she was sharing her husband's achievement, which she could neither see nor experience. Automatically, she achieved this grace. Graces of the Lord. What are these graces of the Lord? Are abhaya, free from fearfulness, abhaya. In the material world, if someone accumulates $1 million, he is always full of fear because he is always thinking, what if money is lost? But the benediction of the Lord, Bhagavat Prasad, is never to be lost. It is simply to be enjoyed. There's no question of loss. One simply gain and enjoy, gaining. Bhagavad Gita also confirms this. When one achieves the grace of the Lord, the result is that Sarva Dukkhani, all distress are destroyed. Which verse is this? Prasada Sarva Dukkhanam Hani Rasyo Pujayate Prasanchet Soyaso Putivarti. Where is this verse? Huh? Second chapter. Prasada Sarva Dukkhanam Hani Rasyo Pujayate. So the only one word is there. You have to guess from that. Okay? When situated in the transcendental position, one is freed from two kinds of material disease. What are the two kinds of material disease? Hankering and lamentation. Shoka moho. Shoka moho. What is the third word with this is? Bhaya. Shoka moho bhaya. Any other words where you have these three things disappears by doing some activity? Yasyaya suryamanaya Krishna param purishe bhakti utapayate yena shoka moho bhaya apaha. This is the verse from first canto, 7th chapter, right? By hearing sincerely Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna bhakti will awaken and these three things will disappear. What are these three things? Shoka for the past, moho for the present, and bhaya for the future. It means you are free from the influence of time. Time is past, future, and present. So, the devotee is beyond space and time. It's transcendental. It's not only beyond three gunas, but it's beyond the desha kala. So, present, past, and future, right? Shoka, moho, bhaya. शोक सभा मतलब कोई मर गया है तो शोक सभा होती है. इट मीन्स फॉर पास्ट. मोह अभी जो हमारे पास है उसको पकड़ के बैठे हैं. बाय व्हाट विल हैपन इन द फ्यूचर. ऑल थ्री डिसअपियर इफ वी हियर भागवतम सिंसियरली. Bhagavat Prasad. This is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. After devotional service begins, we can achieve the full result of love of God. ये कहाँ है फिर? Is also in Bhagavad Gita. कांक्षति भक्त्या लभते भक्त्या पर. Right. अब आप इंटेलिजेंट हो गए, अब बुद्धिमान हो गए. This is good. अब आपका दिमाग काम कर रहा है. पहले कभी ऐसे पढ़ते थे क्या? क्या ऐसे सोचते थे? नहीं ना. अब आपका मतलब वो स्टार्ट हो गया, अंदर सॉफ्टवेयर फिट हो गया है. अब देखते हो तो आपका दिमाग काम करने शुरू करता है. इट वर्क्स राइट. तो ये दिस यू हैव टू लर्न टेक्निक, देन थिंग्स आर देयर. दिमाग उस तरफ देखना शुरू कर दे. एक वर्ड देख के दूसरे वर्ड अपने आप में ब्लैंक करेंगे माइंड में. वट एवर यू हैव लर्न इट विल जस्ट यू कैन रिफ्रेश. प्रभुपाद से परपट में ये डेप्थ है. ओके. The love of Krishna is the highest perfection of Bhagavat Prasad, our divine mercy. This transcendental achievement is so greatly valuable that no material happiness can compare to it. Prabodhananda Saraswati said that if one achieves the grace of the Lord Chaitanya, he can become so great that he does not care a fig even for the demigod. He thinks of monoism as hellish. And for him, the perfection of controlling the senses is as easy as anything. Heavenly pleasure becomes to him no more than a stories. Actually, there is no. Kevalyam narakayate akash pushpayate. Chaitanya. By grace of Kardama Muni, Devhuti experienced actual realization simply by serving. We get a similar example in the life of Narada Muni. This Prabhupada is quoted. Previous life, Narada Muni was a maid servant, son maid servant. Upabhransha. Gandharva become son of Durmal Gop in Kanya Kubaj. So the previous life of Narada was called son of Durmal. His father's name was Durmal Gop. Gopman, he was taking care of cows. And he died, and the wife was taking care of cow. So she was milking cow. So he's a Durmal Gop. So he got the opportunity to serve the devotees, and simply by eating and remnants of their food and carrying out their order, he becomes so elevated that in the next life he becomes great personality in Narad. For spiritual achievement, the easiest path is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, to serve him with heart and soul. That is the secret of success. As stated by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasado. Okay? Okay. So by serving the devotee husband Kardama Muni, devotee shared in his achievement. Similarly, a sincere disciple, simply by serving a bona fide spiritual master, can achieve all the mercy of Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously. So what is the definition of bona fide spiritual master? Who is bona fide spiritual master, Ji? Who is one who is? Perfect disciple of previous Acharya. Bona fide. What Krishna conscious? He is 24 hour Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada has written, our Krishna conscious movement is based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because this is, open the preface of Bhagavad Gita. Preface of Gita. Second paragraph. From second paragraph, you go read this preface, you will find who is bona fide spiritual master. Yes. Our Krishna conscious movement is genuine. So bona fide spiritual master has always a scripture guiding principle. The scripture is a guiding principle. No? And then you go further, then is a I'm simply following the order of my spiritual master. I have not started this movement. It means parampara, faithful to the previous acharyas. Then it will come like that. Then it will come third thing. The spiritual master only preach the mission of Krishna. And what mission of Krishna is? Man mana bhavamat bhakto. You read the whole preface again today, you will find who is bona fide spiritual master. And in the last paragraph, you see Prabhupada say, if one person understands this Bhagavad Gita, I will be satisfied. So the humbleness and all these things, the preface, you just take out from preface actually some principle they are for bona fide spiritual master. You agree with me? No? What you are saying is just a general from common sense, but which there should be some foundation. What is your foundational book? Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada said. It is for Jana. Higher than that is for Gaudiya Vaishnava, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction as a Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is for general. You go higher, Bhagavatam is for Vaishnavas. Higher than that for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So this is the hierarchy of the books. Okay? Next. Last verse of this section. Anyay punar bhagavato bhorvaha udavijrambha Vimramsita artha rachanaha kim oro karamasya. Siddha sihi bhongshavaha vibhavam nijadharma dohan. Devyan narahi duradhigan nirpaha vikirya bhi. Oh, you are reading from this? May move kiya isliye. Kardama Muni continued, what is the use of enjoyment other than Lord's grace? All material achievements are subject to the annihilated, be annihilated simply by movement of the eyebrow of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Person of God. By your principles of devotion to your husband, you have achieved and can enjoy transcendental gift very rarely obtained by persons proud of aristocracy and material possession. Nij dharmeh durb uru karmasya siddha nirpaha kriya, proud of aristocracy. Nirpaha vikriyabhihi, proud of aristocracy. Okay. What is the use of attaining other enjoyment which are destroyed by the movement of Lord's eyebrow? You have become successful. Enjoy these extraordinary objects attained by your service to me, unattainable by the men who identify themselves as kings. Nirpa. Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya commented that the greatest achievement of the human life is to achieve the grace of the Lord. And what is the grace of the Lord? Love of God. And what is that called? Prema Pumartho Mahan. To achieve the love of God is the highest perfection of life. Srila Prabhupada was once asked by his disciple, how can I please you? Prabhupada kept quiet for a while and after said, when you develop love of Krishna, I will be pleased. This is the real pleasure of a spiritual master. The disciple awaken love of Krishna. So this is the highest perfection. The same perfection is recommended by Kardama Muni to his wife. His wife belonged to a very aristocratic royal family. Generally those who are very materialistic or who possess material wealth and prosperity are unable to appreciate the value of transcendental love of God. Although Devhuti was a princess coming from a great royal family, fortunately she was under the supervision of her great husband, Kardama Muni, who offered her the best gift which can be bestowed in a human life, the grace of the Lord, or a love of God. The grace of the Lord was achieved by Devhuti by the good will and satisfaction of her husband. She served her husband, who was a great devotee and saintly person, with great sincerity, love, affection, and service. And Kardama Muni was satisfied. He willingly gave love of God, and he recommended that she accept it and enjoy it because he had already achieved it. Love of God is not an ordinary commodity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was worshipped by Rupa Goswami because he distributed love of God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed love of God. Krishna Prem to everyone. Rupa Goswami praised him as Mahavadanya, a great munificent personality, because he gave freely, distributing to everyone love of Godhead, which is achieved by wise men only after many, many births. Krishna Prem, Krishna consciousness, the highest gift which can be bestowed to anyone whom we presume to love. If you love anybody, give them Krishna Prem. Chakravarti Pad writes, objects of Swarga enjoyed by Indra's wife are filled with fear and lamentation. Are they all not insignificant? These have been attained by your loyalty to your husband, Nij Dharmam Dohan. They are hard to obtain for those who disfigure themselves with identity as a king or queen. So there are 4 Devrishi Nard speak in Bhagavatam. that there are 4 intoxicating things in this world. What are these 4 intoxicating things? Janma, it means the high family heritage, aristocracy, number 2. Aishwari, opulences of wealth. Great learning and beauty. These 4 things make person mad. And out of these 4, which is the worst one? Dhan Mad Andha. This is called Nard Geet. When he was cursing Nalkuber and Manigiriva, then he actually sang some song that's called Narad Geet. He said, out of these 4 intoxication, the Dhan Mad Andha is the worst one. And what Devoti says, out of all these 4 will never allow anybody to chant holy name with feeling. They cannot never chant holy name with feeling. They can chant, but not with feeling. Not gift cannot, the kings and queen will never get this because they have upadhi, a false designation of king and queen. So now 9 to 12, Devuti's request to Kardam for a child. 4 verses. Upon hearing the speaking of her husband, who excelled in knowledge of all kinds of transcendental science, innocent Devoti was very satisfied, her smiling face shining with a slightly bashful glance. She spoke in a choked voice because of great humility and love. Chakravarti Path says she never spoke. Simply, her facial expression expressed everything. See here. Hearing the words of her husband, who was expert in all worship and yogic power, Devati became relieved. With shining smile and slightly bashful glance on her face, she spoke words choked with humility and love. And this is purport Prabhupada writes. It is said that if one is already engaged in Krishna consciousness and rendering transcendental loving service to the Lord, then it can be supposed that he has finished all his recommended courses of austerity, penance, religiosity, sacrifice, mystic yoga, and meditation. Devuti's husband was so expert in the transcendental science that there was nothing for him to argue about. And when she heard him speak, she was confident that since he was very much advanced in devotional service, he had already surpassed all transcendental educational activities. She had no doubt about the gift offered by her husband. She knew that he was expert in offering such gift, and when she understood that he was offering the greatest gift, she was very satisfied. She was overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and therefore she could not reply. Then with flattering language, just like an attractive wife, she spoke as the following words. Chakravarti Path says, he was expert in all worship and powers arising from the yoga, Kardam. She considered in her mind, my husband is giving me a wealth of enjoyment and liberation beyond my experience of the present world. This is not ordinary pleasure. Thus she was agitated with humility, sansprashya, and love. In this state, she approached her husband. She spoke by means of her slightly bashful glance and face shining with smile. She found it impossible to speak with her mouth in the next 2 verses because of the contrary taste in praying for material enjoyment from her husband. Why she could not speak? Because he was giving him spiritual benedictions, but she has a material desire to beget children. So she could not speak. Only by gestures she was speaking. And because she was the crest jewel among all the women, Therefore, to speak, she used a glance infused with an embracing smile as her mouth. Her humility and love made her voice choke up. Thus, she clearly stated her intention in the two following verses, but without using her mouth, she remained silent. So there are some things that can be spoken even without words. The face is the index of the mind, and only by expression you can say something which has a more meaning than speaking words. Verse number 10, Devhuti said, Radham badve jaha vrashyai tad amoga yoga Mayadhipe tvayah vibho tada avemi bhratta Yaste abhyadhyahi samyah sakrid anga sango Bhuyada garyasi gunaha prasavaha satinam The devotee said, My dear husband, O best of the Brahman, I know that you have achieved perfection and are master of all the infallible mystic powers because you are under the protection of Yoga Maya, the transcendental nature. But you once made a promise that our bodily union would now fulfill, since children are the great quality a great quality for a chaste woman who has glorious husband. Chakravarti Pada. The devotee said, O best of the Brahman, O great one, O husband, I know that all this has been achieved by you, since you are the master of infallible powers of yoga. Let us unite once according to the verbal contact made. Bearing progeny through a great husband is a praiseworthy quality for a woman. Srila Prabhupada writes, Devhuti expressed her happiness by uttering the word Bhat. For she knew that her husband was in highly elevated transcendental position and was under the shelter of Yoga Maya. Bhagavad Gita says, Devi Mahatmanastu man devim prakriti mashartya. So and then Prabhupada writes two energies, external or internal, and living entities, marginal energy. So the Mahatmas are under the influence of divine energy, ordinary people are under the external energy. So this is all the normal. The symptom of this is Krishna consciousness, constant engagement in devotional service. This was known to Devhuti, yet she was anxious to have a son by bodily union with the sage. She reminded her husband of his promise to her parents, I will remain only until the time of Devhuti's pregnancy. She reminded him that for a chaste woman to have a child by a great personality is most glorious. She wanted to be pregnant and she prayed for that. The word istri means expansion. Istri means expansions. Istri means expansion. By bodily union of the husband and wife, there is a quality of expanding. Children born of good parents are expansion of the parents' personal qualifications. Both Kardama Muni and Devhuti were spiritually enlightened. Therefore, she desired from the beginning that first she be pregnant and then she be empowered with the achievement of God's grace and love of God. For a woman, it is a great ambition to have a son of the same quality as highly qualified husband. Since she had the opportunity to have Kardama Muni as her husband, she also desired to have a child by bodily union. Devotees speak, but actually through her glances, not by words. The same thing. Verse number 11. Devhuti continued, My dear Lord, I am struck by excited emotion for you. Therefore, kindly make what arrangements must be made according to the scripture, so that my skinny body, emaciated through the unsatisfied passion, may be rendered fit for you. Also, My lord, please think of a suitable house for this purpose. Vedic literatures are not only full of spiritual instruction but are also instructive in how to procreate material existence very nicely. How to prosecute material existence very nicely with the ultimate aim of spiritual perfection. Devotee asks her husband, therefore, how to prepare herself for. So this is some Kam Shastra and how the children are born, and then the whole Kam Shastra says, if husband has a more desire, then the son is born. If the wife is more powerful, then the daughter is born. This some Kam Sutra things are here. Oh, say, Kardam said, anyway, if you want child, then, well, he said, no, this is not the right place. You have to even have a house and have all the nice arrangement. Last verse of this section. Maitreya Vacha Priyayayaha Priyam Anavichan Kardamo Yogam Astitaha Vimanam Kamagama Kshatta Tarayeva Verachikrata. Maitreya continued, Vidro, seeking to please his beloved wife, the sage Kardam exercised his yogic power and instantly produced an aerial mansion that could travel at his will. Srila Prabhupada writes, here the word yogam astita are significant. The great sage Kardam was completely perfect in yoga. As a result of yoga, there are eight siddhis. In this way, yogic perfection is achieved, and after this, one can achieve the perfection of spiritual life. Thus, it was not very wonderful for Kardama Muni to create a mansion in the air, according to his own desire, to fulfill the desire of his beloved wife. He at once created the palace, which is described in the following verses. Whatever devotee had indicated silently by her eyes, Kardam supplied, while he also remained silent. He did not give an answer. The place was not imperfect in pleasure like the creation of devatas or humans. So Kardam also simply arranged everything without. So now this is the section in which we have verse 13 to 21, description of the aerial mansion. So what type of that palace in the air which Kardama Muni created by his yoga Shakti. So, okay? Oh, Krishna. Sarvakandugdam devyam Sarva ratan samanvitam Sarvardhyaha upacharyo drakam Mani stambaihi upaskritam. It was a wonderful structure, bedecked with all sorts of jewels, adored with pillars of the precious stone, and capable of yielding whatever one desired. It was equipped with every form of furniture and wealth, which tended to increase in course of time. Prabhupada writes, the castle created in the sky by Kardama Muni may be called a castle in the air. But by his mystic power of yoga, Kardama Muni actually constructed a huge castle in the air. To our feeble imagination, a castle in the sky is an impossibility. But if we scrutinizingly consider the matter, we can understand that it's not impossible at all. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead can create so many planets carrying millions of castles in the sky, air, a perfect yogi like Kardama can easily construct one castle in the air. The castle is described as Sarvakama Dugham, yielding whatever one desire. It is full of jewels. Even pillars were made of pearls and valuable stones. These valuable jewels and stones were not subjected to deterioration, but were everlastingly and increasingly opulent. We sometimes hear of the castles thus bedecked on the surface of this earth also. The castle constructed by Lord Krishna for his lamplight during the night. Verse number 14 and 15. The castle was fully equipped with all the necessary paraphernalia, and it was pleasing in all seasons. It was decorated all around with flags, festoons, artistic work, variegated colors. It was further embellished with wreaths of the charming flowers and attracted sweetly humming bees with the tapestries of the linen, silk, and various other fabrics. Here, Srila Prabhupada, no purport, right? Chakravartipad writes, Patika is a small flag and Pataka is a big flag. Patika, Pataka. Small triangular flag we have, and these are called Patika. And big flag is Pataka. And there were long garlands of flower attached to the wood framework, threaded with other garlands of the various colors such as red and yellow. Dukul is a silk cloth made with small cocoons, and Kausham is a linen, and Kaushaye is a silk made from big cocoons. So this is a different variety of the things technically. Verse number 16. Many florid, this was Upari Vinyasta. There are different floors in that palace. Niliyeshu prathak kshipitahi kshipobhihi kantam paryankaha vyajanasanaihi. The palace looked charming with beds, couches, fans, seats, all separately arranged in 7 stories. Prabhupada writes, it is understood from this verse that the castles had many stories. The word upari vinayasya indicate the skyscrapers are not newly invented. Even in those days, millions of years ago, the idea of building many stories houses are current. They contain not merely 1 or 2 rooms, but many different apartments, and each was completely decorated with cushions, bed seats, sitting places, and carpets. Verse number 17. This beauty was enhanced by the artistic engraving here and there on the walls. The floor was of emerald and coral dioceses. Prabhupada writes, at present moment, people are very proud of their architectural art, yet floors are generally decorated with colored cement. It appears, however, that the castle constructed by yogic power of Kardama Muni had floor of emerald and coral dioceses. Verse number 18. The palace was very beautiful with its coral thresholds at the entrance and its doors bedecked with diamond, gold pinnacles, and crowned its domes of sapphire. So, the doors bolts were made of diamond, and the doors frames were made of coral. On the top of the towers of the palace were gold kalashas. Next verse. With the choicest rubies set in its diamond wall, it appeared as though possessed of eyes. It was furnished with wonderful canopies and greatly valuable gates of gold. Prabhupada writes, artistic jewelry and decoration giving the appearance of the eyes are not imaginary. Even in the recent times of the Mughal emperors, constructed their palaces with decoration of the jeweled birds with the eyes made of valuable stones. The stones have been taken away by the authorities, but the decoration are still present in some of the castles constructed by the Mughal emperors in Delhi. The royal palaces were built with jewel and a rare stone resembling eyes, and thus at night they would give off effective light without need of lamps. verse number 20. Hansa paravata bharatai tatra tatra nikunjita kirtiman manyamanai swan adhirohya cha. Here and there in that palace were multitude of live swan and pigeons, as well as artificial swan and pigeons so lifelike that the real swans rose above them again and again, thinking them like birds like themselves. Thus the palace vibrated with the sounds of these birds. 21, last of this section. Viharistan Vishrama Samvesha Prangana Jirahi Yathopajosham Rachitai Vichapanam Vivatmanaha. The castle had pleasure grounds, resting chambers, bedrooms, inner and outer yards, designed with an eye to comfort. All this caused astonishment to the sage himself. करदम झूपड़ी में रहा था, महल बनाया योग से, उसको देख के स्वयं ही आश्चर्यचकित हो गया, ये कहाँ से आया? It's like Prabhupada wrote his own books, and then when he was reading, he was crying that I have written this, I don't know. This is something, what is there? The achievement from the spiritual, asset is even astonishing to the one who have achieved it. Kardam was astonished to see his own achievement. Prabhupada was astonished to see his writing naturally. You feel, oh, something. It means somehow super soul, Krishna inside, is guiding you for achieving something which is not your effort but his mercy, and then you are surprised how this came out. So, next session. Here it is, little purport. Kardama Muni, being a saintly person, was living in a humble hermitage, but when he saw the palace constructed by his yogic power, which was full of resting rooms for sex enjoyment, inner and outer yards, he himself was astonished. That is the way of God-gifted person. A devotee like Kardama Muni exhibited such opulence by his yogic power at the request of his wife. But when the opulence was produced, he himself could not understand how such manifestation could be possible. When a yogi's power is exhibited, the yogi himself is sometimes astonished. Krishna, because it's not yogi's power, it's Krishna's mercy basically. Sudama was astonished to see the palace when he reached to the back to the Porbandar, his home. So this is something, achievement given by Krishna is so Prabhupada was astonished, this big movement, how it came out. And he was surprised really, how all these things happen. It means Krishna can do miracles, really speaking. You have to become Nimit Matra. Next section, 22 to 33. We can do Gayatri or we can finish by 1:30 and then go and Gayatri. What is your idea? Gayatri now? Do Gayatri. Hare Krishna. कहाँ गया हमारा